If you're over 40, there are 5 things that you should stop doing with your makeup. Let's get straight into it with number 1, which is ditch the silicone products, okay? Your foundation, your primer, your concealers are probably all basically made up of cyclopentasiloxane. You can look for that word on your ingredient list. If it's in the top 5, you're dealing with a silicone-based product, which as your skin starts to age, just doesn't look fantastic throughout the day. So its wearability is just not as good as a cream or wax-based foundation. And creams and waxes are very difficult to find if you're looking for something petroleum-free and paraben-free. Science of Pretty does have one. It's in our little bundle that's here in the TikTok shop, but very difficult to find really good quality cream and wax foundations that are petroleum free. So ditch the silicone and consider leveling up to Science of Pretty. Number 2 is to stop pushing your eyebrows sideways. This is masculine. This is feminine. We want the brow hairs to go up. If you don't believe me, try just doing one of them. And if you don't have a brow gel, use some Elmer's glue or use, not like regularly, but like try it. You can even use eyelash adhesive on a little spoolie and brush the hairs up and then step back and look at how your face looks like it is completely different than the other side. You're going to get lift. You're going to get feminizing and beauty from brushing your hairs upward. They're going to taper a little bit over to the side, but you've got to brush those products through really well. Stop pushing them out to the side. It's masculinizing. It creates a heavy brow and isn't doing you any favors. Stop highlighting under your eyes like this and start highlighting like this, okay? This is number 3 on the list of 5 things you need to stop doing when you're 40 or over with your makeup, okay? When you highlight like this, especially when you're getting it into this area right here, you're just drawing attention to the ocular hole in your skull that is soft and not supported by bone underneath. So you're creating a big distance between this skin, which is already very different than this skin right here, which is taut and pulled over bone. So when you highlight down what I call the 11s of the face, you're bringing light to these dark shadowy areas in the marionette lines and the nasolabial lines. And it's a really easy thing to practice. See if I'm right. You don't have to trust me, but you can take any light concealer that you have and just try a different pattern, blend it out to about the outside of the iris and see if you don't get other people noticing that your makeup looks fantastic. Number 4, stop wearing sunscreen. I know, half of you are breaking up with me right now. Stop wearing sunscreen that is chemical based, okay? There are a few ingredients that you should really know about: octinoxate, octocrylene, homosalate, the methoxycinnamate. Those are all removed from the FDA's generally regarded as safe and effective list, and they are absolute hormone disruptors and cancer causers, okay? But they are still allowed to put these things out there because the supplement industry and the cosmetics industry, they just don't have strong regulations that are preventing those chemicals from being sold to us, and they go right into your bloodstream. And these chemicals can even be seen in breast milk. They can be seen in little boys years and years and years after they've applied even one use of a sunscreen that has some of these chemicals in it. So please do some research if you don't trust me, and you shouldn't, honestly. Just look it up. But take 20 minutes and potentially save your life. But we have got to stop putting our stamp of approval on chemical sunscreens. Zinc is safe. Titanium dioxide is pretty safe. And the Science of Pretty foundation does have some zinc in it. There are also lots of natural sun protectors out there. Coconut oil, carrot seed oil. There are plenty of things out there that can protect you from the sun. They just can't get the SPF designation because that only comes from the FDA. So we can't say this is SPF such and such unless we pay for their program for them to test it and tell us what that is. And number 5 is to stop wearing eyeliner, especially underneath your eyes. When you're using a pencil or a pen and you're creating this very broad, bold, especially black stripe that is horizontal under your eye, you're creating contrast that's competing with the contrast for the whites of your eyes to the iris. I'm holding one right here. I'm going to put black liner under this eye and show you what happens when I do that. Is I am now drawing attention to the darkness here that is in competition with the blue to the white. Okay, the black to the white is a stronger contrast, and so that's what people see. The blue to the white is a little bit less, even if your eyes are brown, then you have the brown to the white, which is less contrast than a black eyeliner. So over here, another person's perspective is going to be pulled right to the contrast area, which is right to the iris. That's where you want people. That's where you want to be seen, heard, and known. Have people understand what you're advocating for and understand what you're saying and get them locked in on your eyes. Over here, they're just going to end up a little distracted subconsciously. They don't necessarily recognize it, but your eyelashes can have the same effect. If they're too much, they're too black, they're too curly, they're too long, you're creating a contrast on your face against your skin with a black to white ratio that is way too harsh and competing with your eyes.